California, always an example of what not to do anywhere. Here's a story by the Daily Signal, be in the show notes. The title of the story is California's Latest Act of Idiocy, Killing Freelance Work by Jarrett Stepman. I'm going to change this to the headline to California Screws Its Own Citizens Again. That should be the real title. So we've been talking about this story often. It's a shame. It's a shame because it just speaks to why you'd want to live in this dreadful, awful, horrible state. It is beyond me. And the sad thing is I love California. It's beautiful. And people have always been nice to me. The weather's amazing. The politicians have ruined that place. So long and short of it is California, in an effort to attack Uber and Lyft. That's all this was about. Put together a law that basically destroyed any kind of freelance work. They wanted to recategorize Uber and Lyft drivers as employees, which they're not for Uber and Lyft. They're not employees. I'm sorry. A guy or a woman who, maybe some would be, but most of these Uber drivers, it's the gig economy. They drive on the weekend. They drive at night for a few extra bucks. They're not employees of Uber. So in an effort to do that, California essentially put out of work writers, freelancers, and just about everyone else because, again, liberal planners they can't plan because that's the whole essence of why socialism fails. Liberals couldn't plan the price of a baseball card because human beings are unpredictable. So the efforts of government planners have always failed. So here's a snippet from the piece that talks about how now they're not hiring writers out of California because these companies don't have the money to categorize freelance writers as employees because they're not. So a guy says, this guy, David Swanson, a San Diego writer who was the president of the Society of American Travel Writers, he said, hey, if I'm a publisher from outside of state and I have a choice of hiring a writer from California to do a job or someone from Colorado or Texas or Canada or India, and I'd have no choice but to be sued otherwise, why do you think I'm going to hire? Or who do you think I'm going to hire? AB 5, that assembly bill in California, simply makes it unattractive to hire writers from California. Again, folks, you just live with a bunch of morons. I'm sorry, talking about the politicians there. You know, and I get a lot of emails, to be candid. It's not necessarily my having lived in two blue states, deep blue, New York and Maryland. Joe lives there now. There are a lot of good people there. Maryland actually has a Republican governor, 2 terms now. I lived in New York where there was a 3-term Republican governor, George Pataki, because people got tired of it. But I get an email, and it reads like this. I get it probably once or twice a day when I cover a California story, maybe more. People say, again, it's not my words. This is the gist of their emails. Screw the Californians. Why do you care about them? They voted for this crap. They deserve it. Folks, they didn't, okay? California has a population of tens of millions of people. There are literally millions of people. There are, I would venture to say, Joe, there are more conservatives in California than exist in some smaller conservative states in total. I don't even think that's a difficult math equation. You have a population of what is it? What's the population of California? I don't even know. 40, 50 million. I have no idea. You got to figure in California, there's probably 15, 20 million conservatives. The entire population of Florida is only 27 million. Is it 40 million? Thanks. Yeah, see, that was a good guess. Thank you, Paula. See, she's not the researcher. She's the video producer over there. Bet she's even doing research there. Wears many hats on this show. I'll leave that joke for another day. It's 40 million in California. So let's just say, let's lowball it. There are 5 million, let's say 5 million California conservatives. Folks, these are our citizens too. They believe in what we believe in. They don't deserve any of this. They didn't ask for this. They knew this stuff would be a disaster. It's our job to fight for them too. I lived in Maryland, where Joe is now. There were great conservatives in Maryland. Some of the best people I ever met. We nearly won a congressional seat in Maryland. We won the damn thing on election day, lost in the absentee count 5 days later. And a seat we had no business winning or even coming close on. People do care. They deserve our attention too. I appreciate your emails and I understand your frustration. But if you can and you have the ability to get out of there, I can't tell you with a straight face not to. I can't. But some people can. A lot of those conservatives have businesses there. You know, they're being attacked ruthlessly. They matter. They matter too.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.